I was the holy maiden of the snake clan, one bone flute, and every snake in the land would obey me. In my past life, the kingdom of Chu was overrun by snakes. The empress knelt before the sacred altar of the Miao tribe for 3 days and 3 nights, begging me to step in. I played the bone flute and pushed back the snake tide across 3,000 miles, saving millions of lives. Once the crisis was over, Crown Prince Xiao Jinghuai came to propose. He said I was Chu's savior, the only woman he'd ever loved. I believed him, I married him. On the day he took the throne, his very first imperial decree was to have me, 7 months pregnant, beaten and my limbs broken. Then thrown into the snake pit. Holy maiden, please, you're nothing but a fraud playing tricks on people. This snake disaster was supposed to be handled by Gigi. You stole her moment. She suffered for 3 days because of you and you don't even feel bad? Didn't you say you could control snakes? Let's see if they dare bite you. That's when I found out. Royal advisor Su Gigi was the woman Xiao Jinghuai truly loved. My unborn child didn't make it. And neither did I, surrounded and killed by 10,000 snakes. When I opened my eyes again, I was back, the day the snake disaster began. The empress was on her knees in front of me, sobbing, begging me to save Chu. I tucked the bone flute away. Isn't the royal advisor supposed to be able to control snakes too? If that's the case, Chu's fate is hers to handle. The head eunuch just stood there frozen, holding a tray of gold, not sure if he should even put it down. Then came the sound of hurried footsteps. A man in a royal python robe appeared, cold eyes, sharp features. It was Xiao Jinghuai. The look he gave me was pure disgust, his tone was ice cold. Since the holy maiden has no interest in saving this kingdom, don't let us keep you. This snake disaster will be handled by royal advisor Su Gigi. I kept my eyes down, fingers curled, but in my mind I was reliving every bit of pain from my past life. I couldn't even scream. All I could do was watch the snakes close in around me, inch by inch. Su Gigi just stood there crying, saying I deserved it. I wanted to ask, what exactly was my crime? Saving Chu? Or trusting a man who swore up and down I was his one and only? But I couldn't speak. Thousands of snakes were swarming toward me. My body was in absolute agony, but I couldn't make a single sound. All I could do was watch them swallow me whole, the last thing I saw before I died. Su Gigi, standing at the cave entrance looking down at me, smirking, like I was nothing but dirt beneath her feet. And now here she was, same innocent, unbothered act, giving me a soft little smile. I may not be much, but I've studied gu arts and worked with snakes for years. I'd like to do what little I can for the people of Chu. Something stirred in me. In my past life, Xiao Jinghuai only showed up after I came down the mountain, but this time he'd rushed here before I even left, and he brought Su Gigi with him. Had he been reborn too? I glanced at Su Gigi's left hand, tucked inside her sleeve. There were fresh snakebite scars on it, and the wounds looked rushed, barely treated. I almost laughed. Everything she knew was smoke and mirrors she picked up from some street con artist. She couldn't even tame a snake. And yet she had the nerve to claim she could stop a national disaster. The empress frowned slightly, clearly skeptical. The royal advisor knows Taoist arts, but she's never trained in the Miao snake taming methods. The holy maiden, on the other hand, was born in Miao territory, grew up with snakes. Her skill is beyond compare. If mother doesn't believe it, Xiao Jinghuai cut in, tone light but every word landing like a blade. I'll stake my position as crown prince on Gigi. The room erupted. Xiao Jinghuai turned his gaze to me, eyes full of contempt. The royal advisor says handling a snake disaster takes courage and skill, not a magic flute and a sideshow act. They say you can control snakes, and is that a real talent or just some cheap trick? Su Gigi stepped forward, robes pure white, expression delicate and soft. The holy maiden has her pride. She doesn't feel the need to act. I may not be gifted, but I'll give everything I have to bring peace to the people. She glanced at me, barely hiding the smug look in her eyes. Besides, times have changed. We can't keep relying on old Miao superstitions. The empress hesitated, then nodded. Very well. Royal advisor, this matter is yours to lead. I watched them calmly, voice even. If the snake tide isn't stopped, what exactly are the crown prince and royal advisor prepared to answer for? Those who ruin the kingdom will answer for it. Stop stirring things up, I trust Gigi. Gigi is only doing this to save the people. Unlike certain people who only want to use this disaster to get close to the throne. What a complete rewrite of history. In my past life, it was the empress herself who came and knelt before me, begging me to come down. And now somehow I'm the one chasing power and status? That's actually hilarious. Fine. If Xiao Jinghuai believed in Su Gigi so much, let him watch her crash and burn. That's when Su Gigi smiled sweetly, calm as ever. Since the holy maiden won't come down herself, perhaps she'd lend me the bone flute. My brow twitched. Before I could even open my mouth, she was already bowing low. The snake disaster is here. People are suffering. If you truly care about the people, surely one flute isn't too much to ask. Every word out of her mouth was polished and gracious, and every single one was designed to back me into a corner. If I said no, I was heartless. A monster who let people die. I laughed coldly. You want the bone flute? That's a sacred relic my clan has protected for 1,000 years. Not everyone gets to touch it. Su Gigi paused. Her eyes went red. Of course I'm not as pure or noble as the holy maiden. But if it saves the people, I don't care about the consequences. She turned back to Xiao Jinghuai and softly murmured, Your Highness. Xiao Jinghuai looked at me, his tone completely cold. Fu Yao, if you won't act yourself, hand over the flute. Aren't you supposed to be the kind one? You're just going to stand there and watch people suffer? I stared at the two of them, one putting on a show, the other twisting the knife. Someone has to save the world, right? Unless you're scared I'll actually pull it off? Sujiji smiled as she stepped slightly to the side, making herself look as humble as possible. Holy maiden, if you have no selfish motives, please. She said it in front of every single court official, voice soft, almost begging. But that word please hit me like a knife straight to the chest. When she saw I still wasn't budging, Xiao Jinghuai's expression went dead cold. He turned to the guards. Bring every last Miao villager here now. If she won't cooperate, let her see exactly what that flute is worth in lives. First up, the Miao elder. Xiao Jinghuai sat up on the high platform, unhurried, like he was presiding over something completely trivial. My head snapped up. Two guards dragged in a white-haired old man. It was the Grand Elder, the man who'd treated me like his own granddaughter since I first started training with snakes. He was forced to his knees, face covered in dust. His voice trembled as he looked up at me. Little Yaoer, don't be scared. I gripped my hands tight, about to speak. Then Xiao Jinghuai raised his hand. A wave of warm liquid splattered across my face. I froze. I reached up and wiped it off, and the thick metallic smell of blood hit me instantly. My stomach lurched. I collapsed to my knees and threw up. When I looked up, my father was there. I don't know when they'd brought him out. He was lying at my feet. My throat seized. I finally broke, forcing my lips open, and let out a raw, broken scream. Dad! But no matter how loud I screamed, nothing was coming back. Continue! Xiao Jinghuai's voice was ice. No warmth, nothing. The next one. My childhood best friend.